Everyone says it takes two to fix a marriage, but that is just not true. Because I have seen men transform their relationships even when their wives were totally unwilling to try. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 7 steps that I have taught over 600 men to rebuild connection and passion, even if she's given up. And by step 7, you will understand why you need to stop trying so hard to save it. Step number 1. Relationships move to 3 stages. Think of it like 2 people on a road trip. In stage 1, you're both in the car because you're scared to travel alone. You give security, she gives companionship. You give affection, she gives sex. It's all transactional because underneath it, you're both just afraid to be on your own. And that is a dependent relationship. In stage 2, you take turns driving and navigating. You know who's in charge of the bills, who is cooking the dinner, who is picking up the kids. The household runs fine, but somewhere along the way, you forgot why you wanted to take the trip in the first place. You're basically business partners who happen to share a bed, and that is a 50-50 relationship. In stage 3, you're actually enjoying the journey together. Love flows without keeping score. There is a magnetic charge between you, and you're growing together instead of just surviving. And that is a passionate partnership. So here is your first exercise. Ask yourself these 2 questions and write down the answer. Which stage am I in right now? And which stage is she in? If there's a gap between your answers, that's the real problem you're solving. And once you see that, you will understand why nothing else has worked. And I put together a free workbook that goes along with this video so you can do all the 7 exercises and not just watch and forget. Link is in the description. Grab it so you can follow along. Step number 2, and here is where it gets tricky. A lot of guys say everything matters equally: the kids, the connection, the sex, the stability. All of it is priority number 1. But when everything matters equally, nothing matters deeply. So I need you to get honest with yourself. What is the main reason you want to be with this woman? Is it to build a stable family and raise great kids together? And if that is you, own it. Or is it to have a deeply connected, sexually alive partnership where you're actually growing together? And that is valid too. But it requires a completely different kind of attention. The problem is that a lot of guys say they want passionate intimacy, but they spend 95% of their time together talking about the schedules, the bills, and the kids' problem. So their words say one thing, but their actions say another, and she can feel that gap even if she can't name it. So here is exercise number 2. Write down your one main priority for this marriage, not 5 things, just one. Then look at how you actually spend time with her this past week. Write them down in a list and ask yourself honestly whether your behavior matched that priority. Step number 3. Think about your average evening. You walk into the door, she asks about the kids, you figure out dinner, you talk about the credit card bill, maybe you watch some TV. Then you're both too exhausted to do anything but pass out. Rinse and repeat 5 days a week. And, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff on its own. But when every single interaction is logistics, you stop being a man she desires and start being a co-manager she tolerates. And that is not a marriage, it's more like a business arrangement. So, what is actually happening here? It's something that I call a polarity collapse. Polarity is that magnetic charge between the masculine and feminine energy. We all have it no matter gender. And when it's strong, you feel that pull towards each other, that spark, that tension that makes you actually want to rip each other's clothes off. And when it's gone, you feel like roommates who occasionally share a bed. And you can't negotiate desire back into existence like a business deal. You can't sit her down and convince her to feel attracted to you again. It doesn't happen on that plane. But you can stop suffocating the spark with constant roommate energy. So here is exercise number 3. Create one evening this week where logistics don't exist. Skip the talk about work or kids and just connect. Look at each other without the phone being present. Maybe it's even in the other room for the whole evening. And see that woman that you chose at one point, not the person that you run a household with. Just start with one evening this week. Step number 4. A lot of guys wait for her to change first. They think if she could just be more open, more affectionate, more feminine, they could finally step up and be the man she needs. So they wait and they hint and they hope that she will get it. And weeks go by, months go by, and nothing changes. You're stuck in the same holding pattern, wondering why she won't just meet you halfway. But here's the thing, that is like sitting in a parked car waiting for the traffic light to turn green. You haven't even started the car yet. Nothing is going to move until you do. Polarity isn't something that she gives you. It is something that you create. When you show up grounded, clear in your direction, able to hold space when things get emotional without collapsing or running away, right? She naturally has room to relax into her feminine. And when you do that, it's not coming from a demand. I need you to be this and that. I want to have more sex. But rather because your energy invited it. The truth is, when you lead, she will respond. That is simply how polarity works. So, exercise number 4, before you come home and meet your partner, ground yourself first. Move out of your head and into your body. And how do you do that? Well, you can just start with feeling the feet on your ground while you stand outside the door, perhaps, or, when you leave in the car, and then lower your breath down into the belly, right? Relax the belly, relax the heart, feel the feet, and then remind yourself who you want to be as a man, and then you enter the house. And that small shift in your energy changes how she receives you. And if you do this every day for a week, you will start to notice things shifting. By the way, if you haven't grabbed the free workbook yet, now is a good time. It's in the link below in the description. It has a 7-day tracker for this exact practice, plus all the other exercises from this video, so you can actually implement what you're learning instead of just watching and moving on. Step 5. Let me ask you something. Where do you go for adventure, for emotional support, for someone to talk to at the end of the day, for validation, for fun? If the answer to all of those is her, well, then you have a problem. Think about it like this. If you plug every appliance in your house into the same power outlet, what happens? It overloads and shuts down. That is what you're doing to her. And when she is overloaded, she doesn't have the energy left to actually desire you. When you put every possible need on the relationship, she stops being a woman you desire and starts being a tool that you use. And the mystery dies when there is no space. And attraction dies when everything is familiar and functional. So here is exercise number 5. Write down 3 needs you've been expecting her to fill. Maybe it's emotional support, maybe it's adventure, maybe it's just having fun, maybe it's just having someone to talk to at the end of the day. Then find one other source for each of those needs. So, for example, if you've been relying on her for all your emotional support, call up a friend who you trust or join a men's community like ours. And if she's your only source of fun, well, pick up a hobby that gives you energy outside the marriage. Take some weight off her so she has space to desire you again. When you stop needing her to be everything, she finally has room to be the one thing that matters most. Step number 6. Think back to the last few nice things that you did for her. The date night you planned, the flowers you bought, the compliments you gave. Now, be honest. Were those gifts or were they trades in disguise? Were you giving because that is who you are? Or were you giving because you were hoping to maybe get something back? Right? There's a world of difference between loving someone and trying to engineer their response. Real love is like sunlight, right? You shine because that's who you are, not because you're hoping to warm someone else up. But when you do things just to get a reaction, like planning a date night, hoping she will finally come back, or buying flowers, expecting her to suddenly change, you're not giving, you are bargaining. And she can sense that a mile away. Every time you act with strings attached, it's like trying to hold on to water. The harder you grip, the less you have, right? So here is exercise number 6. Before you do something nice for her, ask yourself, would I still do this if nothing changed? And if the answer is no, stop yourself because that's not love. That is negotiation. Step 7. A lot of men tell me this. What if I do all this work and it still isn't enough? What if I lose her anyway? And here's the thing. Your job isn't to save the marriage at any cost, right? Your job is to live your deepest truth and love as fully as you can. I have seen men who, after months of growth, watch their wives fall for them all over again. And other times, the gap is honestly just too wide, and staying would actually have meant betraying themselves. It's like tending to a garden. Sometimes the flowers bloom again, but sometimes, no matter how much you water and wait, the soil just isn't right. I'm not telling you to leave. I'm telling you to stop trying so hard to hold on. Instead, you have to let her go. And I don't mean physically, but emotionally, because that desperate grip is exactly what's been pushing her away all along. And here's the big paradox. The moment you're at peace with losing her is often the moment she finally sees the man she's been waiting for. So here is exercise number 7. Sit with this question for 5 minutes in silence. If you became the best version of yourself and she still couldn't meet you there, what would you do? Don't try to answer it, just feel into it. Let yourself face the fear instead of running from it. Those are the steps to save your marriage. Complete the workbook to get the best results. But saving the marriage is only half the battle. If you want passionate sex, and not just peaceful coexistence, you need to understand why the bedroom went cold in the first place. So, watch this video next, where I will break down the 3 hidden reasons she lost interest in you and show you the method that has helped hundreds of men having their wives initiating sex again. Blessings.